Something is moving through the ruins of Chernobyl. A wolf, its eyes glowing pale green under the moonlight. It stops, sniffs the air, and vanishes into the forest that shouldn't exist. This is the world's most radioactive wilderness, and yet it's alive. Trees twist into unnatural shapes. Birds with deformed beaks still sing. Frogs turned pitch black jump through contaminated swamps. And scientists are starting to realize something unbelievable. Evolution might have just sped up. This is the story of how the world's worst nuclear disaster gave birth to a new kind of life. A place where nature didn't die. It mutated. This is today's bold chapter. Every life is a story, but some are unbelievable. This is bold chapter. Chapter 1. The Night the Sky Glowed. April 26th, 1986. 1:23 a.m. A loud roar shatters the silence of northern Ukraine. Reactor number 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant explodes. A fireball of radiation erupts into the night sky more powerful than Hiroshima. Within seconds, the air becomes poison. Invisible particles spread across the land, entering soil, rivers, and the bodies of every living thing. The Soviets tell the world nothing, but life inside the zone has already changed forever. Chapter 2. The Red Forest. Days later, the pine trees around the reactor begin to die. Their needles turn yellow, then blood red. The forest glows with death and earns its haunting name, the Red Forest. Animals flee, but radiation has no mercy. Deer collapse in the fields. Birds fall mid-flight. A dog wanders through the empty streets, searching for its owners, who will never return. Within weeks, silence covers the zone. Human life disappears, but nature doesn't. It waits and mutates. Chapter 3. The Return of the Wild. 10 years pass. Radiation levels drop, and something extraordinary begins to happen. Wolves, bears, and wild horses return. Without humans, the exclusion zone becomes one of Europe's largest wildlife sanctuaries. But these are not ordinary animals. Some birds have tumours. Firebugs have warped patterns on their shells. Frogs, once bright green, are now completely black. Scientists are stunned. The very thing that should have killed them, radiation, might have changed them instead. Hey, you're here for bold stories, and we've got plenty more coming. Smash that like button, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and drop a comment to tell us what hit you hardest in this episode. And if you want to ride with us all the way to the top, subscribe right now. Let's make this the fastest growing channel of 2025. It's a community, and you're part of it. Chapter 4. Mutations in the DNA. To understand what's happening, we need to look inside the cell. Radiation tears through DNA, the blueprint of life. It swaps base pairs, deletes genes, or breaks the double helix entirely. Most mutations kill the organism, but some do the opposite. They alter the code just enough to make survival possible. In Chernobyl, that process never stopped. Generations of animals have been born here, each carrying fragments of genetic damage and adaptation. Nature is rewriting itself, molecule by molecule. Chapter 5. The Black Frogs. In 2022, researchers made a discovery that shocked the scientific world. Tree frogs in Chernobyl were turning black. Normally, they're bright green, blending with leaves. But these dark frogs have something powerful: melanin. The same pigment that protects our skin from sunlight might also protect these frogs from radiation. Melanin absorbs energy and shields their cells from damage. The darker the frog, the higher its chance of survival. Nature, it seems, is finding its own armor. Chapter 6. Life feeding on radiation. And then there's the fungus. Growing deep inside Reactor 4 itself, one of the most radioactive places on Earth. Instead of dying, this fungus thrives. It contains melanin too, but it doesn't just block radiation, it feeds on it. Scientists believe it converts gamma radiation into energy, almost like plants using sunlight for photosynthesis. This black fungus has been sent to the International Space Station. If it can live off radiation here, maybe it can help protect astronauts in deep space. Even in destruction, nature evolves new ways to live. Chapter 7. The Wolves That Don't Die. Today, hundreds of wolves roam the Chernobyl zone. They live shorter lives, yet they breed fast and seem oddly resilient. Recent studies suggest their DNA might have changed in ways that make them less prone to cancer. Natural selection happening in real time. Those who survive pass on their resistant genes. Generation by generation, the pack becomes stronger. Its evolution, accelerated by catastrophe. Another chapter closed, but the story is far from over. Subscribe to Bold Chapter and never miss what's next. Chernobyl is a scar on human history, a symbol of arrogance, failure, and loss. But inside that scar, nature wrote a different story. A story of adaptation, of life refusing to die, of forests, wolves, and frogs that turned radiation into survival. It's a haunting reminder. We may destroy, but nature always finds a way to rebuild. Sometimes the monsters we create become miracles. This was today's Bold Chapter. Subscribe for more stories where life, against all odds, finds a way.